guitar buddies, a classic track from Pulp there, Common People. A great example of what you can do with just 3 chords. Okay, the chords in the song are just C, F and G. I'm actually starting just on an octave. Okay, just playing C on 10 on the D string and C on 13 on the B string. Then going to just a G in the 10th position. Yeah, on the opening, just that kind of down up stroke, back to the C. Okay, and if you follow on the playthrough, it's really easy to follow the chord changes. So we've got an F as well. Got a chorus section. Back to the C octave. A G, sorry. So on the kind of first section of the song, I'm just playing around in that kind of 10th and 8th position there. And then I'm kind of going, just playing the C now in 3rd position. To warn you, look out, G. And just keeping that little bit of muted, palm muted chugging away there. Everybody hates a tourist, especially when this is all such a laugh. It'll be nice and simple. Go to an F. And basically, it's just kind of those 3 chords, but it kind of builds more. So later on, you go. Yeah, so for example, you kind of go. You get that kind of G, that kind of rhythm there before it starts getting big. All right, and so it alternates between quieter sections where I'm more playing that, the louder sections where I'm more playing these chords. All right. And you've got obviously that's all just a G. Okay, so it's really straightforward. And then we've got at the end get a little bit of palm muting. Just playing a kind of little C chord there, and then just that little melody E, F, 2 and 3 on the D string, open D, hit that chord. Okay, you get that at the end. So that's pretty much all the rhythm parts, yeah. And then we've got the couple of things we add into that is I'm doing a. Just these slides which you can see on the playthrough. So on the C chord, I'm just coming from about the 5th fret to the 10th fret, roughly, just a slide up. You can start lower, you can start later. It's just getting that little slide sound. So on the C chord, I'm hitting the C on 10, 10th fret of the D string, and then go to the G chord, 10th fret of the A string, go to the F chord of the chorus. 8th fret of the A string, back to the C. Yeah. And then solos, nice and simple. So we've got so it's just all those 3 notes of the C major scale, G, F and E. 12, 10, 9 on the G string. So then on the G chord, just going up to 16, a B, A to G. So 16, 14, 12. Slide back up to 16, little sort of little trill. B and C, 16, 17, and then back to. Yeah, back to where we were before, and then we'll just kind of doubling up on just playing an octave there. Optional really, just to kind of fatten out that. Yeah, just to fatten out that section. Okay, and so that's pretty much it for the rhythm and the little short solo, those little slides. Just going to change sound, and I've put a little bit of the intro on there, which is probably played on the keyboard, but did do a version of it on guitar. So we'll get some kind of echo on that and take a look at that next. So I've got a kind of dreamy sound with some chorus and delay. Okay, and what I'm playing is basically just a little. So it's probably on the keyboard with some echo, just going down a G7 arpeggio. But what I'm doing here is just picking a D right up on the 22nd fret, then just doing an upstroke on a G to F, so that's 15 to 18, and pulling off to 15 like that, and then just hitting the G string to finish. And that's something similar to what you get on the intro. And there's another bit I put in, which is just simply a slide up there from a G to a B. You'll see that on the playthrough. So just a couple of extras there. But next we'll take a look at the bass. The bass is very simple. It's based around C, 3 on the A string, G, 3 on the E string, F, 1 on the E string. And what I'm playing at the start, now I don't know if this is how he plays it on the track, but this is what seemed to be getting close to the kind of feel of it, is I was playing just using the pick, okay, and could do it with fingers too, but I just like to pick for this, especially for later when it gets like heavier. So I'm playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, but on the 1 and 2, putting a like just releasing the pressure. So 1 and 2, so it's a 1 and off, not all the way off, just mute it, so you get that kind of da 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 da. So I'm still picking, but using my right hand to deaden the note, left hand. For the bass, it's mostly 3 notes, C, G and F, 3 on A, 3 on E, 1 on E. And what I'm doing is I'm using a pick for this. You could use fingers, but I prefer to pick. And I'm playing, so I'm always playing down up. Kind of like that, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But I'm using my left hand to deaden 1 and these notes. So I'm playing down, up, and then on that next downstroke, I've just kind of released the pressure, so I get like a muted kind of percussive note. And I'm just sort of playing that on the kind of intro, kind of first couple of verses, chorus. I think you can kind of listen to where it changes, and then more I'm just going into straight 8s, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, nice and simple. There's a little section where you can see I'm going. Just sliding up an octave. Okay, you'll see that I'm playing through, just going from 3 to 15 on the C and 3 to 15 on the E string for the G chord, 1 to 13 for the F chord. Okay, a little section there. I did a little. So I think just got a little octave there. Before that stab section, so I'm just playing 3 and 5. Again, very optional really. So I'll just keep that C going. Yeah, really straightforward. Just got to play it with lots of energy and enthusiasm, really. And that's pretty much it. It gets a little quieter. But again, I'm just playing with different dynamics. I'm not really changed anything. Just playing quieter. They'll watch you, never warn you, look out. Turn your insides out, that kind of thing. And a little bit at the end where I was just a little. I think that's something that you get. I'm just sliding to the C on 8, then playing the octave on 10. So 8 on E to 10, and then just a C to finish. And I think it finishes with a little sort of slide up and down. Yeah. Come on, people. You, na, 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 na. You, na, 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 na. Da, 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 da. That kind of thing. But it's just a lot of fun. And the fact that it's kind of so straightforward in its like choice of notes means you can really just enjoy playing it. You know, especially doing a live cover of it with a band. Have fun. All right. Thanks for watching, buddies. Cheers.